So here's an update to a wife's crybaby fest of a story that I covered a few days ago, which was titled, Wife's Affair Implodes After Her Sister Tells Husband Now She's Having a Meltdown Because He's Planning His Escape. And that's all about the young wife. She's not that old, late 20s at best, married not too long, and was having an affair because she claimed she was missing being young. In other words, all the attention and validation and the butterflies and the bad boys. And her sister ratted her out to her husband. And secretly he's been planning his escape, divorce, moving out, all that. And she's losing it. Woe is me. And now we have an update to her situation. And guess what? She's still having her crybaby fest, feeling bad for herself. Even though, guess what? She brought all this on herself. And it goes back to the whole thing about you got to pay attention who you marry, do your homework, don't rush into relationships. And it's amazing just how narcissistic and self-centered some people can be. She says here, sorry for the slow update. Yesterday was the hardest day of my life. Who brought on what became these hard times you're in? You. When I confessed to the affair, he started crying and he said he already knew. He told me he signed a lease and is moving to his apartment on the 1st, as in today. She filmed this yesterday. He planned on leaving while I was at work and having divorce papers for me to sign. Well, good for him. No need for an explanation. He's out of there. Here's the papers. Adios. And notice she says, when I confessed to the affair, you were already outed by your sister, lady. You didn't just confess to him because you felt bad. He already knew. I asked how he knew. Well, a while ago, when I was going to see my affair partner, I stupidly left my burner phone on the damn table before I left. I don't even know why I put it there. I was careless. You were a lot of things beyond being careless. I remember that day because I drove back and was looking for it. He asked me what I was looking for, and I lied, saying my wallet. I couldn't find the phone, so I left. He started thinking about what my passcode might be, and like an idiot, I made it my birthday. He looked through it, and it crushed him. Who makes their password their birthday? I mean, it's like almost as bad as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like in Spaceballs. He said after that, he snooped all the time. He thought he was a great husband, but now he wonders where he went wrong. He was looking forward to being a dad, and when he found out, it crushed him. This poor guy. And you know this guy obviously was, no doubt, being too nice to her, putting her on a pedestal, all that. Or maybe he was just treating her like a human being, and his kindness was perceived as weakness, and she was looking for the thrills from the bad boys. No doubt, she married her nice guy who'd be a good provider, who she could rely upon, thought would never end it with her, and she wanted to fool around. That's the trend nowadays. They find their nice guy who they never would have given the time of day to in high school and college. Those guys, of course, think they won a prize, and they think, oh, the movies are right. I'm going to get that girl finally. And once she gets that ring, the ceremony, all that nonsense, goes out and cheats. Or open marriages, or open relationships. And now they're shocked when guys are actually ending it with them. I was going to read the TL, whatever the hell that is, on what happened. He said he was not ready for that, and right now he doesn't want to know. He said he would hold off on filing for divorce. He was hesitant, but I asked him if he really wants this marriage to end without saying we fought for it. Fought for it? She's manipulating him. You're not going to fight for our marriage? Lady, if there's any fighting going on, she should be doing the one fighting for it. Down on her hands and knees, begging and doing other things to fight for it. He doesn't need to fight for anything. She's the one that ruined it. You see the mentality here? Total narcissist. He agreed he did not. He showed me the divorce papers and threw them away. He may not be giving her the divorce papers now, but I guarantee she's going to get it soon enough. I could not convince him not to move out. He said he needs space from me right now. He feels like less of a man and damaged his self-esteem. Right now, when he looks at me, he feels pain. What do you expect? You ripped his heart out. You haven't married that long. He was looking forward to eventually having children and starting a family and all that, and this is what you did to him. Of course his self-esteem's crushed. And I guarantee he was probably that guy who didn't get gals like her and thought he won a prize with her, but instead he won a bag of coal, a bag of crap with her. This is what he gets. Of course he needs space, and he's moving out. Good for him. And frankly, he had to give her those divorce papers anyway. There's no way this is going to work out. I'm hurt. I'm not going to lie. I took off work today. I'm glad that he's open to talking, but there are still too many unknowns. And I hate that he left. Sounds like someone doesn't like uncertainty. What I tell you about women and uncertainty. They hate it, but yet they're drawn to it. I bet you she's probably having new levels of attraction for him because he actually left her. A few hours ago, he took a portion of his stuff to his new apartment. I've been sending him multiple messages trying to give him reassurance of my love, but he's been dry and slow at responding. What happened to the part where he said he needs space? Is she having a hard time comprehending what that means? He means leave him the hell alone. He's got to process and think. But instead, she's bombarding him. But if you know what, if her bombarding him shows him that I should not be with her, then that's a good thing. Of course, the sirens. It's been a week. I haven't had any sirens. You all know the joke from the SSM channel about the sirens and me. But anyhow, no. If she really cared, she'd leave him alone. But she's just bombarding him. And she's trying to manipulate him and toy with his emotions here. I feel bad for this guy. But this guy needs to end it with her. Because once a cheater, always a cheater. She's not going to change. She's not going to become this perfect wife and end her ways. No, once a cheater, always a cheater. And I guarantee you, the odds are pretty darn good this isn't her first rodeo. It's very likely that she's cheated on him in the past. So this guy needs to go get a new copy of the divorce papers, have her served, and move on. Because I believe he's in his late 20s or maybe 30 or something like that. He's got his whole life ahead of him. And I would hope that they're in a no-fault divorce state. An at-fault divorce state. So at least then it can go on her. But probably they're not. But even if he takes a hit in the short term, it's worth it not to stay with someone like this because she will do it again. And he's never going to get that image out of his head. Every time she's on her phone, he's going to be thinking she's chatting with some guy. Every time she's staying late after work, claiming because she wanted to avoid traffic, because that's what she did before, she's out with somebody else. You can't do that. And if he takes her back, all it's going to do is convince her that whether she realizes it on the outside or subconsciously, that I can get away with anything with this guy and she'll do it again. I hope he learns his lesson. Now some comments here, because nobody's sympathetic to her. One guy says here, it's not fair to him that you said you want to fight for the marriage, but you're the one to show that you don't, and you stepped out. You sound sorry for being caught. Let him be. Stop texting him, give him some space. He has to come to terms with the fact that you threw a grenade into your proverbial relationship living room and locked the door behind you so he couldn't get out. The level of disrespect you've already shown him means that you are not ready for a real relationship. You really should let him go. He will never look at you the same way ever again. Exactly. But if she manipulates him enough and tries all sorts of tricks and tries to get family and friends to manipulate him, and if the guy really has no self-esteem, he might just take her back. That'd be the worst thing he could do. Another guy says, there's nothing much to say except that you asking him if he really wants this marriage to end without saying we fought for it is incredibly manipulative. Like, wow. Looking at your history, it just seems like he did fight for you and you just didn't care. He was trying to fight for her. You recall in the first story, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it, that they went on a vacation or some weekend together. He was treating her extra wet, extra nice, all that, but look where that got him, right? Just leave him be to sort out what he wants to do, and if he wants to leave, let him. He's been through enough. Another one. Please stop spamming him. It's going in one ear and out the other. Let him have his space. Tell him you're there when he's ready to talk. You owe your sister an apology and good luck. Well, that person's too nice to her. And one more. It says your actions speak louder than words. You didn't stop on your own. You stopped only after you realized he knew. Your affair was so serious that you even had a burner phone. You're not even 30 years old. And so the kind of miss being young statement is a bit ridiculous. This is all going to make it very hard for him to get past. You need counseling, individual for sure, and marriage if your husband agrees to it. You need to be open and honest. No more lies, no trickle truthing, no withholding the truth because you think it'll cause more harm or whatever. You need to be open book. You need to cut all contact with the affair partner, full stop. Well, she claims she cut off the affair partner the second the dude found out. But this whole thing, like you need to be open and honest, no more trickle truthing, no more lies, no more this, no more that. Good luck. That's like trying to tell a dog not to bark. It's a dog's nature to bark, as is a woman like this to keep doing these things that are just despicable. You also have to accept that your husband was already prepared to leave and drop the divorce papers on you. The road to recovery is going to be long and difficult, and it may already be too late. You also have to understand that whatever hurt you're feeling, your husband is feeling a million times worse. Act accordingly and unselfishly. The whole time in the first story, and here we go again, I never heard anything about her saying, I feel so bad because I hurt him and caused him pain. Nothing. It's all about her. It's all about how she's feeling and the uncertainty and blah, blah, blah. It's a common theme with these things. These gals are narcissists, and there are men that are narcissists too, don't get me wrong, but let's be honest, that this is a men's channel, so I'm going to be telling stories to help men out. You can't be with someone like this. And I gotta wonder if this guy has spent more years getting to know her and probably, like I said, had a lot more self-esteem and didn't think he got a prize, because girls like this probably didn't pay attention to him when he was younger. He would have seen red flags of narcissism and a personality early on. She's probably someone likely that had a ridiculously big wedding and the whole shebang, all that, the bells and whistles, me, probably very big on social media. I could be wrong, but usually some of these stereotypes come together that can give some serious clues as to one's character. So anyhow, I wish this guy best, but I'm sure there's going to be updates here, but I really hope that she doesn't mess with him enough that he takes her back. It'd be a horrible idea. Good luck to him.